Okay, we are now recording. And I'll start again, as always, by sharing my screen. If you have a question, you can either just ask, all right, or type it over into the chat bar, which should be sitting over there, and I'll answer it when we're finished. Bear with me 1 second. I don't know. Okay, I'm at home and we've got delivery guy coming, so I'll be gone for about 1 minute in a moment. But I'll start by sharing my screen. Here we go. All right, so this is what you had to do last week, okay? Last week, working from the textbook, okay, but using evidence in the body, and you had to do that through the Schoology activity, all right, which was in the folder. Basically a quiz, but not aimed to find out what you know. It's aimed to direct you towards what you need to know in the textbook. So you do the quiz in conjunction with the textbook. Okay, you do it with the textbook open. You can do it in the textbook first. Okay, so we can see who has completed it and who hasn't. Everybody's completed it. Almost everybody's completed it. All right, well done. Okay, just give me 1 second. Okay, sorry about that. That's the problem of having lessons at home. Can't get away from the delivery man. All right, so you had to do that. Okay, if you haven't done that, it is actually still open. It will just be late. But if you haven't done it, please do it, simply because it teaches you the important ideas of using evidence in the body. Now, we started that last week, using evidence in the body, and you will actually be using that idea this week for your presentation. Okay, so it was aimed at introducing the concept, letting you practice. Okay, so there were 2 activities from the textbook. You had information, and you had to find the evidence, whether it was a number or an example, which supported a statement. Now, that was a way of identifying whether it was an example, whether it was a number, and identifying which types of statements, which types of evidence supported each statement. It wasn't meant to be too difficult, and hopefully, and looking from the grades, most of you didn't find it difficult. But the reason I wanted you to do that first is because then you had to create your own material, and you had to do that using this, okay? Using My Hometown is Beautiful. Last week, I had problems with the video. I've tried 3 more times to upload the video. Almost every time I've had a problem, but this one, it now seems to be working. All right, so if you haven't finished it, although I think most of you have, let's have a quick look. Okay, 37 people have done this. Everybody's done it. Brilliant, well done. Okay, so we will expand on this week, all right? So let's go back and have a look at what else you had to do last week, just to finish off. And So there was that material from the textbook, and it was just looking at two ideas. One was to say the Great Pyramids of Egypt, okay, and the other was the Great Wall of China. And it was just taking the information here and using it to support a statement. It was just good practice. Then in the Flipgrid, you had to do the same thing, either with using My Hometown is Beautiful, that's the example that I did, or you could have gone with my university, Kobe University, is a great school. That's the link. Everybody's done it, so that's perfect. Now, the big one, the presentation. Last week, your goal was to choose a topic. And then to start doing a little bit of research. But the most important thing was that you actually choose a topic. So I'm hoping everybody has done that. And we will work on the basis that you have chosen a topic this week. All right? And we'll have a look at what you have to do this week. Now, I won't stay here. I'm going to have a look at what you need to do this week, because all of the information has been put into this week's instructions as well. So I just opened up this folder about 10 minutes ago. Okay, again, there are instructions. There is another activity of using evidence in the body. Oh, I beg your pardon, that's this week's, isn't it? Okay, my mistake. That one that I showed you, the Great Wall of China and the Great Pyramids of Egypt, I'll have a look at them in a moment. They're actually this week's homework. I beg your pardon. We'll have a look at those. So, the story message using evidence, presentation planning part 2. Okay, this is the key one this week. This is the one I'm going to spend most of the time looking at. So we are here, all right? We're halfway through. This is hump week, if you like. After this week, we have less lessons ahead of us than we have behind us. Okay, so moving on. At the end of today's recording, I will put the recording here as always. But this was the main thing, okay, using evidence in the body. I'll just jump into that from this screen to save a bit of time. So it's this activity here. Okay. Oh, sorry. That's wrong. That's going to show you the answers. I want to show you the preview. Just bear with me. There we go. So this is straight out of the textbook. You can do it in the textbook first if you want. Okay. Get out of that. We'll preview the actual test. Do it in the textbook first, and then you can come here and you can do it online. Okay, so again, you get one attempt. There is no time limit. Read the instruction first, okay? So using evidence in the body, it's page 73 and 74, I beg your pardon, okay? The idea is to identify numbers and evidence. When you start, you'll see there are 2 questions. Okay, so 1 and 2. This is the first question, and that's looking at page 73. You take the information out of here, all right, which I have written out on the left, and simply match it with whether it matches statement 1, statement 2, or statement 3. Just drag the statement to whichever one you think it is, okay? Done. And number 2, very similar. Okay, same thing. Just drag it out. Okay, it's very long. Which one do you think would match very long? And statement 2, statement 3. You can drag these out 2 or 3 times, okay, to match the evidence. Okay, so it's very, very simple. It won't take you very long to do that. Coming back, Now, you've all done your Flipgrid activities, okay, using evidence. What I would like you to do this week is actually look at each other's and give feedback. And I've got 3 questions for you, or 3 topics for you to give feedback on. Okay. First of all, do you think the evidence provided by your classmate is strong or weak? Remember, we were looking at strong or weak evidence last week. And if it's strong, it uses numbers or strong evidence to support the statement. So does the evidence support the statement? Either my school is, my university is a great school, or my city is beautiful. Second, which type of evidence did they use for each of the 3 points? Now, each presentation should have 3 pieces of evidence. What were they? So for evidence 1, was it a number or an example? For evidence 2, number or example. Evidence 3, number or example. And 3, can you think of another example or another set of numbers that the person could have used to support their main idea? Okay, could you offer any advice on how maybe they could have used a different example? Okay, so those 3 things. Do that for 3 people. Okay, choose 3 of your classmates. When you come in, okay, so that would be a reply. Make it a video reply like you have done before, which, by the way, you've been doing a fantastic job. I've been looking, grading all of your 2 city presentations. Okay, that's all done now. And you have been giving each other really good advice. I was really impressed. Okay, so everybody's done it. So go in, watch each other's presentations, choose 3. Try to choose 3 that maybe you haven't talked to before. Okay, 3 people that you haven't given feedback to before. And also try to give feedback to somebody. If they already have feedback, 3 pieces of feedback, give it to another person. Okay, we want to make sure everybody gets feedback. Okay, coming back, the presentation. Okay, now what I've done this week to help you is I have attached a Word document to the bottom of the instructions page. The Word document is aimed to give you ideas and to act as a framework for putting together your presentation. You do not have to submit this. In fact, you can't submit it, really. Okay, so it's not an assignment for you to do. It's a tool for you to use, which will help you with your presentation. So I've put a little bit of information again about what the presentation is. Okay, you have to, oh, that's wrong, I'm going to get rid of that. Sorry, we'll delete that. I don't know how that got stuck there. But you need to do research about your topic. Okay, so last week you should have chosen a topic. This week you're going to do research about the topic, and the goal is that by next Wednesday you'll have finished collecting all your information and you'll be ready to start making your presentation. Okay, so this week we'll finish the planning, and then next week you'll do the preparation. So 3 steps. Now these 3 things you need to do on this Word document. So we'll open the Word document and then we'll come back and have a look at those 3 steps. Okay, I have put all of the presentation outlines into this instruction document so that you can refer to it without having to go to last week's. Okay, so there's no new information here, it's all the same. This though is new. So first open that template which I just opened. Okay, then write down your topic at the beginning and then write down 3 ideas. Okay, 3 subtopics. I beg your pardon. You need to think of 3 main ideas about your chosen topic, and then you need to find 2 to 3 pieces of evidence for each main idea. Use both numbers and examples, but remember, numbers are stronger. Okay? If you have a choice and you can only choose one piece of evidence, and you have a choice between using a number and using an example, the number is stronger. It provides a stronger support to your statement.